All right, so this is actually the second time I'm filming this video. I'm gonna try to go all the way through without having to do any editing. I don't know how good that's gonna work, but I'm gonna cough, so there's that. All right, so I have noticed the most like questions, confusion, all kinds of things regarding my move. I've said this before, I totally understand the natural curiosity, especially when you pick someone to watch and you as a human being, you just naturally want to know about that person, especially if you really like them. I mean, you know, there are people that watch YouTubers that love them and people that watch YouTubers and they hate them, but they still watch them. But that's neither here nor there. But I get that that there's that thing there where everyone wants to know as much as they can know. I don't think that made sense, but gosh, this is difficult for me. Can you not tell I'm like kind of stuttering on words? But it's because my channels, both my main channel, which is this channel, and my vlog channel, are not about that kind of level of information. That's just how I run my two platforms. And there are so many varieties and unique YouTubers, creators, all of those things. And I realize that no matter how many times I say this, there will always be questions, curiosity. My channel keeps growing. And so I know that's going to happen, basically. But so I just kind of wanted to just do a little sit down, a little chat, kind of catch up. But I will say that what I say in this video is all that I am going to personally offer for what I want to share, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is I know that there are going to be questions either now, after this, in the future. And I just want to let you know, maybe you're new to my channel, but you know, really, my channels just aren't that level of deep stuff. Sometimes I do, you know, share, you know, how I'm feeling or things like that, but it's not, it doesn't ever just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, I guess I am freaking out a little bit about it because, I don't know, maybe it's harder to explain than I thought. But basically, my main channel is even further from, I guess, the personal. Is that maybe not the right? It's like, it's not that personal, you know? I'm sharing with you my level of passions for Dollar Tree items, some crafts here and there, you know, just how, if I go shopping, I love to share that with you, and how I decorate. That's the level of my main channel, so not really anything personal going on there. The vlog has a touch more personal because I share my life in terms away from the camera, even though there's obviously a camera on me so that I can share that. But even that doesn't really dive too far deep into you know, all of those personal things. So anyway, this is a long enough intro on that. But I have definitely seen all of the comments, especially on my vlog channel. That's why I'm like kind of refilming this, just because there are just quite a few that don't like my vlogs being out of order, and they're not, I mean, I can understand that from your perspective they're out of order from my main channel, but they're not out of order from my vlog perspective if you weren't to ever look at my main channel. So don't ever film real time, and I actually don't ever film real time for my main channel either, and that's just how I do it. If that is something that a person needs in a YouTuber, there are a lot of creators that film pretty much almost real time, like daily vloggers. I'm not a daily vlogger, so I don't pick up the camera every single day, and yeah, my vlogs will never be real time. But I do understand that from the moment that like in real time, so if you're watching my videos, the moment that they come out, the confusion is going to be there in that instantaneous moment, because you see me at the old house, but my main channel, you're now seeing me at the new house. So my vlogs, I've already filmed all that stuff. I'm not gonna throw away that content. Taking out your camera and changing up the angles, all of those things slows you down. I definitely notice that when I do videos like Clean With Me, or kind of a day in the life kind of video, or just really all of my vlogs, really, doesn't even matter. And if you're a YouTuber and you're watching this, or any YouTuber out there will understand this, but it slows you down from not pulling out a camera. You know, if you're just not filming yourself, you know, you go about your business and you do your thing, but taking out a camera and doing all those things, it slows you down, and I'm not gonna throw away that kind of content that I already took the time to capture. If it's something that bothers anyone, that why, like, I mean, skip over it, because eventually you're actually going to see my vlogs from this perspective, and I'm almost running out of footage anyway from the previous house. So that's that, I guess, on my vlogs. The other thing, what else did I want to say? Excuse me. There was something else, but I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you for those of you who understand and you just support, like, no matter what. Thank you for that. And sorry for the confusion, but that's why I'm still putting out my stuff, because I just took all that time and didn't want to trash it. So we're, like I said, almost done with the old house stuff. So the other thing is, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, so from your perspective, well, obviously not even from your perspective, from my perspective too, all of this happened super fast, so much faster than I had anticipated, which all I keep thinking now is, thank God that I started packing when I did. So I'm gonna kind of backtrack and talk about it as if maybe you don't know kind of what's been going on. So about September, somewhere in that range, I don't really know, but it was somewhere in there that I knew that it was time to get out of the previous house that I was at. And honestly, I stayed there longer than I'd actually wanted to. So I knew that it was time to leave, time to move on. And I created this new exit range for myself, which was like March, April. And April really was kind of like a stretch of just in case, you know, it was proving more difficult to find a new space. So really in my mind, it was kind of like the perfect target was going to be March for me. Never anticipated that anything would have happened in February. So knowing that range, around Christmas, like right after Christmas time, I knew that I wanted to start this whole process of going through all of my stuff. I wanted to really create, you know, organization. I called it like phase 1, phase 2, and phase 1 was going through my stuff and deciding, am I gonna move it with me? Does it need to be thrown away, or does it need to be donated? And that is kind of where I started. But then at the same time, if you watch my vlogs, you saw that I was like, okay, well, maybe I need a pack while I'm here anyway. So I started attacking rooms that I just wasn't using, and I wanted to do this because my back had been giving me problems since about mid-November. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm constantly injured. I can't tell you how many bruises I have all over my body from the move, which is really what this story time is actually about. It's not about all of this pre stuff. It's just kind of a funny story, but really it's kind of not funny, but we'll get to that at the end. But so yeah, so my back was hurting, and it stopped like right after Christmas. I think we had I remember we had like a white elephant on the 26th, and my back was hurting that day, but then I think it was kind of like the last moments. But anyway, because I had, even in like, this is getting too deep, but even in like parts of November and the beginning of December, I went like a couple of days without my back hurting. And so I would think that it was like gone and it wasn't happening again, but then it would start back up. So that's why when December rolled around, I knew that, January rolled around, I knew that I needed to tackle things at a slow pace because your girl has some stuff. You know, I had 2 stories of a house worth of stuff, and it's funny because when we started moving everything, my daughter was just like, oh my God, how much Christmas stuff are we moving? It was really hilarious, maybe slightly sad, but I'm really proud of all my Christmas decorations, so maybe not sad. And so I'm just so glad that I started when I did, because I had never anticipated the February, and especially not the beginning of February. So, all right. So I knew I had a plan. I knew that I had certain ideas, and so actually on New Year's Day, my niece came over, and it was so cute because she came with me, and I went looking at houses. I think I want to say it was 5, but I think I might have seen 6 houses. I can't remember. And this house was actually one of them. I think this was the 3rd house I saw. It was either the 3rd or the 4th house. I feel like it was second to last, just because my brother came and picked her up while we were out. But anyway, that's a whole, who cares, irrelevant information. Hi, I do that too sometimes. And so I saw this house, and I immediately just knew. And I can tend to be like that. Whenever I see something, whether it's something as simple as something at Dollar Tree, it's ridiculous. Where am I going with this video? No one knows. But like when I got my car, I mean, you know, tons of cars on the lot that pretty much all look the same, but like I picked one specifically, and I just knew, you know. But anyway, I saw this house, and I just knew, and it almost has like its own little story time, but I'm not gonna do it. But I almost had a That's So Raven moment. If you don't know what that is, that used to be a TV show on Nickelodeon, and she would just kind of like see into the future. And I had a very odd experience walking this house, and I was just like, whoa. It was like I went into the future, and we were already living here, and it felt like just completely natural, very bizarre, and I was instantly in love with this house. So I never dreamed that it would go as fast as it did. Anyway, so when I saw this house, I knew immediately, and we began working on the offer immediately, and it just all fell into place. So what is interesting is that I actually behaved completely, I wouldn't say bizarre, but looking back now, I I definitely was more on this, well, I'm not gonna put all my eggs into one basket, even though like the whole time my family and friends, they were just like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, love the house. They were all obsessed with the kitchen. Everyone's obsessed with the kitchen. I did a house tour, so if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. And I don't know, January was a very off month for me, and the Kobe Bryant thing, I mean, not to like add more levels to this, but that was really, that one got me pretty bad. And so it just kind of like, I wasn't as focused, and it wasn't just that. I mean, I was just off. I mean, were we in retrograde? I don't even think we were, but I just remember thinking I need to keep looking at other houses. I don't want to put my eggs all into one basket. I wasn't, I guess I wasn't as, I really don't know. I really don't know the word to describe it, but I do remember my family and friends, and if they're watching this, they know exactly what I'm talking about, because, and I would actually even say it got to the point where everyone, I was just like, y'all are more excited than I am. And it wasn't that I wasn't excited. I guess it just hadn't sunk in, if that makes sense. If anyone can kind of relate to that process, it just had not sunk in for me. And it honestly didn't even sink in on the signing day, like nothing. It was actually a couple days after the move that I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that just happened. So I definitely did react like I needed to keep looking at houses, which I did, even though this was just moving in its tracks. And then we actually had a date, and we ended up moving that up. So here is kind of where we get into the story time of the move. So when I originally called my movers, it was when we had the first date, which was actually later in February. And then we ended up moving it up. So, so I called my movers back, and I was just like, I just got a message from one of you. Y'all are hilarious. Okay. From my Instagram. But anyway, you're hilarious, and I will DM you so that you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, so I called my movers, and I was just like, hey, actually, we just moved the date up, you know, can you work with this date? And they were like, oh yeah, we'll move you, we'll slot you here. And so here comes moving day. And I am not a fan of moving day. I much respect to people who are in that business. My brain cannot fathom, understand. There's no logic to doing that as your business, as your job. Oh my, what? Wow, just wow. But the whole, like, the moving process just is so incredibly stressful for me. And there are not things that are stressful for me on that aspect, but moving does that to me. And so he calls me the day before the move to confirm the move, but he throws a curveball at me and asks me if I could move that day. So he calls me early in the morning, and he's like, actually, you know, I had a guy who got the flu. Would it be okay if we moved you today? And I was just like frantic, looking around at all my stuff, wondering, again, am I ready? But you know, what was I gonna do? I definitely didn't want to move past that other date. And so I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, like we can move today. And so he just told me, okay, well, I have this move at this time, but it's not gonna last very long. It was in the early afternoon, and 7 o'clock is when he shows up. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh. Even though I had gotten rid of half, and honestly, sometimes I think I got rid of more than half of my stuff. I only brought my bedroom furniture, my daughter's bedroom furniture, the living room furniture, and my patio furniture, and not even all my patio furniture, okay? So even my patio furniture was halved. And That's it. And like the boxes of, you know, my belongings and my stuff. But everything else, my kitchen, my dining room, that ended up going too. Everything got donated. The game room stuff, everything got donated. The game room couches, the game room TV, the game room hoop system, the black and gold room, all of that, you guys, all of that ended up not coming with me. But because of the rules of the donation company, they can't come into the house, they couldn't come into the house and pick up the items. So I knew that it had to be either on the porch or the garage is what their rules were. So I was nervous because the mover showed up very late, and I never moved that late in my life before. I don't know if anyone else has moved that late, but so I was panicking because when I had booked my move, I had told him, I was like, well, there's a lot of furniture that I'm not taking, but I need it moved from upstairs to downstairs garage. And so I started panicking, wondering, is there going to be time for this? Because I definitely did not want to be moving at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. And so the end result is that not only did we not get any of the furniture that I needed from upstairs to downstairs, none of that got moved, but we didn't even get half of my stuff. Thankfully, we were able to get the furniture, because there was just no way that, you know, I could, 1, lift that myself, or 2, put that in my car. My daughter came down for this. She wanted to come down for this, and so I can't tell you how many trips we were doing. And I trust me, my back was, I was scared for it, because I just did not want that back spasm pain to come back. That is the most excruciating pain, and I've been through some pain. And my legs are falling asleep. So we went until midnight. I mean, it blew me away, honestly. So not only did we not get half of my stuff, but we went until midnight. I was mortified. It was loud. I was just like, oh my God, my new neighbors are gonna be like, what's going on out there? So it was just, for a move, I mean, I think I'll move again in my life, but for a move that I was just like, okay, it's not gonna happen for a while, we certainly went out with a bang. And I know moving is never great. I mean, sometimes you have a great experience, you really do. I believe that stories like that are out there. It just was not that story for me on this move. And I was just like, we're not even making a dent. How am I gonna get, me and my daughter, in terms of like getting everything from one place to the other? And the drive was not close. so there's that factor too. And I was just like, how am I gonna get this furniture down into the garage? They're coming to pick this up. Okay, quick interjection here, because I'm realizing as I'm editing that I forgot the whole actual part about the moving story time that cracked me up. I don't know, I was in a mixture of, do I laugh or do I cry about this? But basically, even though we didn't get any of the furniture I needed moved to the garage, which is a big thing from the first movers, even though we didn't get half of my stuff, like the fridge, there's so much we did not get. But what was funny is at the end of the night, and it got done about midnight, as I was signing the paperwork, he goes, he was like, oh, thank you so much for like letting us move you today. I just really wanted to like take Friday off. And I was just like, what happened with the flu? What happened with the guy with the flu? I didn't say anything. I obviously just, but it like struck me immediately. I was like, I almost tripped over myself as we were walking to the front door. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's great. Have a great day off. But in my head, I'm like, what happened to the flu? I mean, it doesn't matter either way. That's why I didn't say anything, because it was already done. It was already said. And, but yeah, it's kind of like, a knife at my side a little bit, you know, because we could have moved during the daytime, had a longer move, gotten everything. There was no flu. None. We had to call second movers. So yeah, so we ended up getting some more help, and finally the other house is done. It's gone, and I can finally focus on this channel. It's kind of why my Dollar Trees have been a little bit off whack, and I'm doing this because there's a pile over there in the corner, but cute Easter pile. But I get distracted by Dollar Tree stuff. But anyway, it was, and like I said before, I have so many bruises, I don't even know how I got them. I feel like I should be examining my head for concussions maybe, or even a stroke, I'm not sure. But it was very stressful. It was a lot, but it's finally done. And yeah, I am just as surprised because I really thought that it was going to be this March. I had no idea. I never knew ever in my right mind that when I was going to start looking at houses, that first day that I'm looking at houses, I was going to find the one. So I just had never anticipated the quickness, but it did. It went down that fast, and that's that. So that's the story time. And my daughter loves this house. I love this house. It was really time for us. Like I mentioned, I was actually in the last house longer than I had ever anticipated. I anticipated myself moving out directly after my daughter, excuse me, graduated high school, but obviously lasted, you know, a couple more months than that. But anyhow, I'm very excited to share all of the decorating. I have already put up a video of me settling into the master bedroom, which is this room right now. I did a video of my closet, which is so satisfying to me. I don't know if anyone else felt like that after watching that. It was so satisfying. I still have not done much because I've been so busy. The bathroom is a mess, and that's the next room to tackle. But right now I'm really unpacking. I'm not doing any decorating because I am going to be doing so many different new changes. We're getting there. I can't wait to share it all with you guys. And I realized, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I realize there's probably going to be more questions, but really this is just the gist. And I really don't know what else to say. Oh, I do want to say that I saw, there are actually a couple comments that I originally addressed in the first time that I filmed this. But for me, again, my channel is not about just kind of like going that deep. I just really want to remain at a different pace. And, you know, there are a lot of people that, well, I don't know if it's a lot, but there are some people who watch me and don't like me, don't understand that concept, but but I kind of changed my mind on addressing some of those just because I can't battle every single thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I were to address and you won't know about these bad comments because I don't approve bad comments. My channel is about hauls and a little bit of crafts and a little bit of decorating. There just doesn't need to be negative things on my actual videos. So that's why I hold off all comments to approve. And, but you know, I just got to thinking, I was just like, I will never want to battle every single thing because there's always going to be something or someone, and you know, addressing it just adds more fuel to the fire, and I really don't want to do that. But there's one thing that I do want to say. I saw someone comment and say, because I guess in my house tour, I was just identified it as a new build, and they were like, well, how's it a new build if there's a TV mount on the wall? My bad. I meant relatively new build because it is. And, but yeah, so that's the only one I was going to address. But yeah, that's just how I operate. It really doesn't need to get to a level of hate, or you know, it just my videos aren't that deep, I guess. And even if people do deep videos, I just don't know. But anyway, so that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the sit down and chat with me. We're gonna get back to the normal stuff, get back to our Dollar Tree hauls. I'm so excited. It feels very weird. I feel like I've been betraying the store, which is absolutely, utterly ridiculous, but that is actually how I feel. So perhaps time to call a doctor or therapist. And, but that's it. Yeah, I can't wait to share the space and decorating with you guys. Wait till you see the TV entertainment that I got. Oh my God. It also has its own funny story time. It's actually not funny. It's more embarrassing than funny, but I'm gonna save that for another time. That's it for this video. I know so many of you are probably waiting for me to put this up, so I'm gonna go drop it into editing, and that's it. See you guys next time. Bye.